Hi, this is Zach Meir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Friday, the 15th of March. Starting off with the FTSE, which has becalmed, as it has been at near the top of the range, 7,300, 7,800, looking for 7,850 by the end of this month while we remain above 7,700, but I think it would be unwise to get more excited than that at the moment. The other plus point that we have, though, is that we've had three bounces off neutral 50. RSI, which tends to be a decent leading indicator on the upside. I suppose the last time we saw something like that was back in November, where there were two bounces near the RSI 50 level, and then we had that rally, that massive rally that we had back in December. Moving on to the DAX, where the things are not quite so squeamish. Here you can see that we've managed to clear that September resistance line. That was the old target that we had, 17,900. Above that, on an end-of-day close or end-of-week basis, we're looking for up to 18,500, perhaps as soon as the end of this month. Obviously, this is a moving market, unlike the FTSE, so that is possible. On the downside, not expecting anything worse now than the current March support, 17,600, maybe 17,400 at a stretch, which was the old February resistance. Moving on to the Dow, and here the name of the game has been trying to consolidate recent gains. You can see that we bounced off the floor of that rising trend channel from October. That is around, or was around, 38,700. We've got potential to retrace back to the 50-day moving average, 33 to 38,300, but the fact that we've had several dips and have managed to find support above a rising 50-day line is encouraging and suggests that we could hit the top of that, we'll hit that resistance line, the projection there from back in September, around 40,100. Overall target here up to 41,000 at the top of the October channel. The actual September resistance line is actually a potential intermediate target rather than being the top of the channel. So the channel there shown in black at the moment. Moving on to Bitcoin, which has been the hero of the month to date, and looking for it to remain a hero. Unfortunately, we have had the pullback that we were suspecting, i.e. back to the floor of that very steep trend channel. 67,000 was first port of call, maybe down to the old February resistance at 64,000. If we break back, or if we have a lower low than the current one, around 65,800. But the key here really is to remain above the floor of that channel. That's currently around 64,000, and then head back up towards the top of that channel. 80,000, I suppose, maybe the way things are looking by the end of next month rather than by the end of this month. On to gold, which I think I forgot to look at yesterday. Here we've got the market stabilizing at and above the old resistance there from December, 2150. Above that, we're looking obviously for a retest of the best levels so far. 2203, ultimately up to 2250 by the end of next month, if all goes well, especially while we're above 2150 there. But both the gold and Bitcoin seem to be a little bit tired now. Moving on to the stocks, starting off with Armadale Capital, and here you can see that we've had a rebound off this basically, I suppose it's a triangle in place since back in November. The floor of the triangle there around 0.54. Initial target here, the 200-day line at 0.91. After that, maybe by the end of next month, if all goes well, up to 1.2 pence. Ideally, we stay on the right side of 0.73, which was the initial March resistance. Next on the roster is Clontarf, which after a few attempts since February, it looks like it might be able to head up to the top of that rising trend channel at 7.5. Above that, we're looking for obviously the old August resistance at 0.1 pence. On the downside, clearly we don't want to see anything below the now rising 50-day moving average at 0.4. And I suppose the way that has been rising slowly over the last few sessions had predicted the move that we have today. Capital Metals has decent stake building news, and that's helped the cause. We're already looking for the shares to bounce off the floor of that rising trend channel, so that charting worked there. We're now above the 50-day line, 3.1 pence. Above that, we're looking for up to 6.5 pence at the top of that rising June trend channel from last year, as soon as the end of next month. 88 Energy is next, and here we have the second attempt at the shares pushing to the upside. The fact that we've been rising above a rising 50-day line without needing to touch it to support is very bullish. It's like a V-shaped bull flag, as I call it. Initial target here, minimum target probably now 0.44 pence, and that might even happen by the end of this month, while we remain above the 200-day moving average at 0.13. On to Emyprean, and here you can see that some efforts are being made. We've had, I suppose we've had a gap, through the resistance line there from September. The key here is staying above the 50-day line and that broken September resistance line at 0.52. Above that, we have the initial target here, the 200-day line, which stopped progress last month. That's now at 0.72. Big picture target is up to 1.1 pence if we can get a clearance of that 50-day line over the course of the rest of March. GCM is next, and it's been a bit of a, well, it certainly has been a hero over the recent past. Beautiful break to the upside that we had last month. Looks like support's coming in above 6 pence, and the longer we stay above 6, the greater the chance of a move back to 12, retesting the 12 pence area over the next 2 to 4 weeks. Obviously, though, most shares that spike up like this don't then go on and retest or exceed the initial exuberant high, but maybe this one will be different. On to Immupharma, and here the picture improving by the day. We already had the Bear Trap Island reversal, so gapping down and then gapping up. Very strong signal. We've hit the initial target there, 1.6 pence. Above that, we've been looking for 2.5 pence, and that can happen perhaps even as soon as the end of this month, the way things are going there. Pressure is next, and the fact that it reappears after a long time of absence suggests obviously that the shares have done well. We currently have a situation where the initial target here was 41 pence. Above that, looking for as much as 53 pence by the end of next month. All the while, we need to stay above the initial March resistance around 35 pence. Power metal is next, and here worth a revisit, I think, in the sense that we've been bouncing at and just below a rising 200-day moving average at 0.75. Above that, we're looking for a retest of last month's resistance through a penny, perhaps by the end of next month. The 50-day line is also rising, so that is also a leading indicator on potential recovery. If you're cautious, I suppose you wait for that to be broken before deciding that the shares are on their way again. Seraphim is next, and again, another stock which appeared earlier in the week. Rising trend channel there from October, top of the channel there heading for 72 pence, and we're looking for that by the end of this month, especially while we remain on the right side of 60 pence. Going on to URA, which where I suppose you can almost, as I say, smell the emeralds now. It's getting to that time. Rising trend channel there from November, top of the channel there as high as 2.6 pence, and we're looking for that by the end of next month, while we remain above recent support around the 1.9 pence level. Finishing off with Wishbone, which has probably pleased its shareholders with the latest attempt at a breakout. We've had previous attempts over the last few months, and it'll be interesting to see whether today's rally is not just a one-day wonder like the other rally attempts that we've had in July. The current situation is that above the broken resistance line there from July at 1.44 pence, we could head back up to 2 pence, but obviously at the moment still falling short of that particular trigger. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.